Welcome to Unload and Show Clear, powered by Match Shark. Listener ready? Stand by.
Welcome to another episode of Unload and Show Clear, a podcast about the men and women who compete in IDPA matches around the world. I'm your host, Lloyd Bailey. IDPA is the International Defensive Pistol Association, formed in the late 1990s out of the concealed carry movement in the United States, and was based on a desire by the founders to come up with a shooting sport that was defensive in nature, that was based on real-world defensive skills and not just fancy equipment. IDPA matches are a series of stages that are based on realistic defensive scenarios, and they test a shooter's gun handling, accuracy, speed, and problem-solving skills. Men and women from around the world compete in IDPA matches every week. And every week here at Unload and Show Clear, we introduce you to one of those shooters. But this week is a little bit different. In today's episode, we're going to tell you about one of these upcoming matches, introduce you to the match director. Aaron Ragusa is the match director of the 2020 Illinois State IDPA Championship, and he's going to give us a preview of the match. But first, I want to thank our sponsor for 2020, Match Shark. If you have seen videos of the 2019 World Championship, you saw shooters dealing with the discomfort of shooting in the rain. Now, if you were at that match, or if you were with me at the 2019 Arkansas State match, you know how much fun shooting in the rain can be. Pasting and scoring targets is a delight because you can't see the scoring zones when you're shooting, the pasters won't stick when it's time to paste, and the targets ultimately disintegrate because they become waterlogged. Contrast the Arkansas State targets to the World Championship targets. What was the difference? The difference was Match Shark. Match Shark's patent-pending target shields keep targets dry even in heavy rain. They're reusable, so the cost of the shields is quickly recovered by simply patching and reusing the shields over and over again. Makes your targets last longer. It makes tear down and setup easier, makes your staff happier, makes your shooters happier because they don't have to deal with plastic bags and all of the hassle and nonsense that comes from shooting in the rain. Designed and manufactured right here in the United States, owned and operated by IDPA shooters themselves, people with experience in running matches at the highest level, people who understand the challenges that match staff face when dealing with the weather. So why don't you let them help you run your matches faster and smarter and make it a better experience for your safety officers and your shooters. Visit matchshark.com today and get everything you need to be prepared for your next rainy day match. Last year at the Illinois State Championship, it rained cats and dogs. They could have used Match Shark. Match Shark is fantastic. Check them out, matchshark.com. Our special guest is Aaron Ragusa, the match director of the 2020 Illinois State IDPA Championship. Aaron, welcome back to the show.
Hey, Lloyd, it's good to talk to you again.
Well, welcome back. Glad to have you here. I'm excited to talk about, we're previewing the 2020 Illinois State IDPA Championship tonight, and I attended last year's match, had a great time despite all the craziness with the weather. It looked like you guys handled it really well. It was still a ton of fun. Talk about this year's match. When is it going to be? And I assume it's in the same place.
Yes. So the match will be June 27th at the World Shooting Complex in Sparta, Illinois. If you don't know where Sparta is, it's roughly 1 hour from St. Louis, 3 hours from Indianapolis, about 4 hours from Memphis and Nashville. So small little town, but pretty short drive for everyone in the southern Illinois, southern Indiana, Missouri, and Kentucky, Tennessee area.
And a really impressive facility out in the middle of nowhere.
Yes, it's I often refer to it as the greatest thing that the Illinois government has ever done. It's actually a government facility, and it's the one thing that I'm really okay with my tax dollars going to.
It is phenomenal. How big is the match this year? Tier 3, Tier 4?
This will be our first Tier 4 match. I've been shooting this match since 2011, 2012, and it's always been a Tier 3 since taking over the match 2 years ago. Last year, I had 185 shooters shoot the match, and I just think that we are able to, just by adding a squad, we should be able to hit that Tier 4 number. For those of you who shot the match last year, we're adding a Friday squad, so Saturday will be roughly the same of 12 squads of 12, and hopefully, weather permitting, we'll get everybody through in a short while.
Nice. How many stages?
Be 13 stages. This year's theme is video game shootouts. Last year we did In the Line of Duty, where we did police badge cam footage, inspired the stages. The year before that, we did Hollywood shootouts, so movies, but this year will be video games.
So
all the
themes are
Go
kind
ahead.
of, you like themed matches, looks like.
Yeah, it's I was telling myself when I'm designing the stages, the theme doesn't dictate exactly what happens in the stage. I use the word inspired by, so nothing's ever going to be exact, but it gives me a lot of room to play with some really cool ideas and stage props.
Cool. So how does video game shootouts manifest itself in this year's match?
Well, I took a bunch of multiplayer maps and single player campaigns from some of my favorite video games, and just turned them into stages. For example, one of the stages is going to be Rust from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. A very small, tight multiplayer map, but I try to design, well, the wall is here, and then there's another wall over here, some barrels here. So I was literally on my computer hitting Alt Tab to move in between SketchUp and the game, which my laptop was not a fan of, but it worked out. And I should mention that also that we have a guest stage designer this year by the name of Lloyd Bailey, who
Right.
designed our Gears of War stage.
Yep, that was. I'm honored to have contributed to the stages this year. I'm really looking forward to seeing how you guys pull that one off. What other?
Oh, it's good. It's gonna be good.
It should be. What other games? What other games are inspiring what you've got in store for shooters this year?
Sure, if you're cool with it, I'll just run down the list.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Black Ops, Halo, Team Fortress 2, Counter-Strike, Half-Life 2, Unreal Tournament, Metal Gear Solid, BioShock, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which I mentioned, Gears of War, and GoldenEye 007.
Nice. What's coming from BioShock?
BioShock is the level called Neptune's Bounty. That's a scenario where, if you're not familiar with BioShock, essentially it's a dystopian world under the ocean, and you're trying to escape this city which is full of drugged up people, for lack of a better term. Neptune's Bounty is where you encounter a local gang leader by the name of Peach Wilkins, Old Peachy as he's referred to in the game, and him and his cronies attack you, and you have to solve the situation from there.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah, really, I'm a big fan of BioShock, so I'm looking forward to that one too. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What
That's a good
divisions?
stage.
What divisions are now? Did you before I get to the divisions? Did you design all of the stages yourself, or other than the guest supplied stage from Gears of War, or?
I designed all but 2 stages, and then, as always, when we did the stage review process, I ran everything past my assistant match director, Jeff Nelson, who I know you've had on the show before.
Yep.
We met at the restaurant in Champaign, Illinois, with our laptop. We went over every single stage during the commercial breaks of a football game, and hammered it out from there. Then
That
right
had to have
now
been a
they're in
long
the
meeting.
it was worth it though. A few beverages were consumed. So right now, all the stages are in the capable hands of HQ. The 2 stages I did not design. One is a standard, which I pulled from I just did a YouTube search for pistol drills. I found one I liked. We're gonna roll with that one. Modify it a little bit with a little bit of hardcover, which I'm not a huge fan of hardcover. You won't see a lot of hardcover at Illinois, but in that standard you will.
Okay.
And of course, the other one is the one you designed.
Very cool. Okay. Which divisions are competing this year?
All of them.
Awesome. Bug included?
Yes, so bug included.
Oh, wow. That is really
Yep.
cool.
So every division will be represented, and all novice to distinguished master. I want it to be wide open. I wanted to try and get as many people into this. You could maybe call it a little bit of paranoia. My first tier 4. How do I get 200 people into Sparta, Illinois? That might be a way to do it.
Yeah. Very nice. Sponsors for this year's match?
I usually start sponsorships around the new year.
Okay.
So haven't started that process yet. Typically, my friend Dan, who runs DLD VIP, he'll donate a pistol. I usually purchase all the prize guns from him.
Mm-hmm.
I know you saw the prize gun table last year.
Oh, yeah.
We had about $3,000 worth of prize guns, and this year I'm trying for about $4,000
Very good.
of prize pistols. Yep.
Awesome. So sponsors, if you're interested in sponsoring what is going to be an awesome match, definitely get in touch with Aaron, because this is going to be a fun one. It sounds like people will definitely remember. I started to ask, one of the questions I like to ask is if there's anything special or unusual, and I suspect we've already answered that question. Everything's based on video games.
Yes.
Now, one of the things, when I submitted my original design to you, one of the things you did a little tweaking to it, and which I'm not arguing with or I'm not upset about, but talk about the what's required to sort of make a stage that is, how should we say? Because in a lot of these cases, the games that you're talking about, these are not necessarily sort of concealed carry, self-defense scenarios. How do you tweak them in order to still fit within that mindset that HQ is looking for, by the way?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as I said before, these stages are inspired by the
Right.
video game. So
Right.
the scenario changes a little bit. For example, I'll just read you my stage description for the Call of Duty Black Ops stage, and that stage is going to be Nuketown from Black Ops. So
Oh.
my description reads: terrorist forces have invaded the nuclear testing facility known as Nuketown. You and your Black Ops team have arrived at the facility and must neutralize the enemy forces. That one is pretty straightforward. It provides a defense scenario where someone has invaded something that they shouldn't, and you are charged with stopping the threat.
Okay. Do you have an example of, just for everybody's understanding or an enjoyment of a situation or a map, a mission that you had to do a little tweaking on to, or maybe the Gears of War stage, for example?
Sure. So the Gears of War stage is a little bit different because that one is set. I've never played Gears of War myself, unfortunately. So that one is set at a prison where you're trying to break out a teammate.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you're fighting some supernatural beings. So the Locust Army is in quotes. For all I know, the Locust Army is just a group of ragtag soldiers who just call themselves the Locust Army. I try to keep things as non-supernatural as possible.
Right.
Where I just say members of the Locust Army have attacked the Coalition's Jacinto Maximum Security Prison, nicknamed the Slab. You and your teammate Dom battled to clear the prison of Locust fighters. Fight your way to the evac zone.
Okay.
So I try to keep things pretty neutral. Nothing. It's still based in the video game, but nothing that would cause eyebrows to raise at HQ. Because I still want to nail home that concept of IDPA of you have to defend yourself to get to where you need to go. Otherwise, bad things will happen to you. It's just a different kind of spin on it.
Bring the sci-fi to a modern world situation. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. One stage that I did that on was, if you've ever played Unreal Tournament, there's a map which inspired a stage called Facing Worlds, where the map is literally it's a floating asteroid in outer space. You can see the Earth floating in the background. So that one I had to do a lot of tweaking to. But in a way, I still got to use the plot from the video game to do that stage description.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. we're talking about a bunch of things for next year's theme too. Right now, the best one that we have, and I'll pull the curtain back a little bit, the best one that we have working for next year's theme is going to be all 007 scenarios. So taking a movie, taking a scene from the movie, and each stage would be a different Bond film.
Yeah, that's interesting you mentioned that, because it surprised me as we were wrapping up last year's match. You were already telling me what next year's match was going to be.
I have.
I was like, wait, you've already thought this through. We didn't
Yes,
we just finished.
I started these stages about a month after 2019 Illinois wrapped up. I started getting the designs down, what games I wanted to do. Yeah, that's just how I am with the stages. That's the part that excites me the most about IDPA is the stage design. So I have next year's theme, and I know a couple things have been tossed around for 2022's match theme have already started popping up. So these are things I think about way ahead of time.
Nice. Registration, has that opened yet?
Registration will open on January 6th. So depending on when you listen to this, it may already be open.
Right.
It'll be on Practice Score.
Okay.
Match fee is $125. And as far as accommodations go for Sparta, there's one Holiday Inn and not much else. However, you're fairly close to some St. Louis suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
Fairview Heights on the Illinois side, that's not too far away, maybe an hour to 45 minutes away. So lodging is not a problem. Parking's not a problem. You saw that the bays at the World Shooting Complex are all in one row. So
Yep.
12 bays right in a row. Plenty of parking available. And yeah.
I stayed in Perryville, Perryville, Missouri, and it was only, I want to say, 45 to 50 minutes away from the range, barring horrific rain and flooding. So
and a bridge closing.
And bridge closings. So speaking of weather, what do we expect? What are you expecting in that time of year in Southern Illinois?
What I expect and what I want are frequently two different things. What I expect is, as is historically shown, is that it's going to rain on staff day, and then the shooters should have a nice day. Last year we had a period of rain for I think it was about an hour. We let it pass and then got back on to shooting. That set us back a little bit with food. I was planning on having food after the match was done. However, the food arrived on time, but because we had paused an hour for rain, we ate during the match, which was something new I was trying. Typically, I had past few years, I had a lunch break and then back to shooting. A lot of people have come to me saying, "Hey, we want to try eating after the match. Just let us shoot and get done, and then we can eat while you're calculating scores, and then we'll get back on the road."
Right. That's always nice, and it keeps things moving pretty fast. And you had a lightning issue this past year that was that slowed you guys down. I was surprised because it had taken me forever to figure out how to get to you and to wait for the weather to sort of pass enough that I could make my way up to St. Louis and then back across and back down to Sparta. That you guys had taken over an hour break because of lightning. And so I actually finished before everyone else.
Yes, I don't know how you passed up your squad. We were trying to catch you up to your squad, but that's the magic of Lloyd Bailey, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
Lightning. That's a range policy. There's lightning in the area. The manager there, Bart Carson, he had his app out and he was looking for lightning strikes, and we could see some, and there were definitely some in the area. So he had to call that. That's range policy.
Oh yeah.
But once luckily we were very lucky that all passed and back to shooting.
Yep. It's a great facility. It was a really fun match. I wouldn't recommend doing it the way I did it. But it was still a lot of fun. Great staff, and you've heard a lot of them on the show last year. And I'm really looking forward to this year's match to see exactly how these video games play themselves out in the stages. Information is up on idpa.com at this point, and I guess by the time they hear this, it'll be on Practice Score.
Yes, and
Okay.
it'll be on our Facebook page as well.
Okay.
If you just search for Illinois State IDPA Championship, you'll find us. Um, right now, the profile picture is of the 2019 logo. I have former guests of yours, Ken Charles Strong. Um, he, I have him doing the artwork again. He does a tremendous job, so you'll see a new logo. And I've
Oh, yeah.
seen his sketches so far. I think the path he's going, it looks like an achievement unlock. You have a shield with some ribbon around, so it looks like you're unlocking an achievement. And we're looking at different things for the logo this year. And it's going to look, I think it's going to look great.
Very cool. Yeah, Kentrell, former guest. Check out his episode. Did a really good job on the logo for last year's match. Can't wait to see what he does for this year. And I'm really looking forward. Believe it or not, I'm looking forward to coming to Illinois of all things. It's
We'll be happy to have you.
Yep, I'm looking forward to doing it again and seeing how this plays out. And we'll include all the links for the Facebook page, IDPA, and practice score for registration will all be in the show notes. Look for them there. Aaron, thank you so much for coming on the show again, and looking forward to seeing you at the match.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, folks, that's all the time we've got for today. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to our special guest today for coming on the show. And thank you to our awesome sponsor, Match Shark, who's making 2020 possible. If you see them at your next match, by the way, stop by and tell them that you appreciate their support for the show. And check out their website, matchshark.com, for all of their awesome products. Take a moment, if you would, to check out our website if you haven't already. Unloadpodcast.com is the address. We've got all of our interviews posted there, of course. Join our Facebook group if you'd like to interact with other fans and get the latest updates. Check out our YouTube channel as well, unloadpodcast.com/YouTube. We've got some really cool videos there. And check out Apple Podcasts or iTunes and subscribe to the show. Maybe leave us a review while you're at it. We would really appreciate that. And if you would like to show your support in a more personal way, consider becoming a patron for just $1 a month at patreon.com/unload. I'll send you a sticker and my undying gratitude for helping to make all of this possible. If you or someone you know would make an interesting guest for a future episode, contact me at lloyd@unloadpodcast.com, or just go to the website, click on the Contact Us button in the menu, and send us a message. Tune in again next Thursday for another episode of Unload and Show Clear, powered by Match Shark. We are a proud member of the Self-Defense Radio Network. Be sure to check out all of the pro-gun, pro-freedom podcasts at selfdefenseradio.net.